To everything there is a season. Turn, turn, turn. A time to begin and a time to end. Turn, turn, turn. In the case of this rotating benchtop tool carousel, its season is up. Get out! Hey everybody, my name is Sam and welcome back to Samcraft. In today's video, I am continuing down the pathway of setting my workshop up as a production shop, and that is leading me to get rid of one of the coolest, most favorite shop projects, and that's the rotating benchtop tool carousel you see behind me. As far as a small workshop, fit as much stuff in a small footprint as you can mindset, this tool carousel rocks. It is awesome. I have loved it. It has been wonderful. But if your mindset revolves around small scale production, churning out projects, making money, being as efficient as possible, moving from step to step along the assembly process, a rotating carousel, as I have found, is not the best idea. That begs the question then, okay, Sam, master of your own little shop, knower of whatever you might know, what in your mind is the most efficient setup, apparatus, layout, pathway, goal for a small scale production wood shop? I'm glad you asked. In that case, the old Mr. Give me a second. Just put them in a straight line so you can get to them quick and get back to what you're doing. Don't be fancy, don't think about it, and don't be scared about using up some of your shop space. Quit being so stingy. My workshop is a 16 by 16 footprint built out of a storage shed. I put a video on my channel a while back about how I built this. If you're interested, there's a link down below. So I'm in a square shaped workshop. In my shop, I have a lot of tools. I have too many tools. Shop sizes and shapes aside, I need to find a spot to have a long rectangle linear flow to the stationary tools that are currently on my rotating tool carousel. Currently, my tool carousel is holding a drill press, a belt sander, a small belt sander, and a scroll saw. Of those four, the scroll saw, out the door. I haven't used a scroll saw in years. I don't like using it, and that's one that I'm honestly going to be selling or donating to someone very, very soon. So that leaves me with my drill press and my two sanders. In addition to that, and why not, let's throw another sander into the mix, and that's my oscillating sander, which normally lives on the floor. Here's where you might be thinking, holy cow, man, how many sanders do you need? What are you doing? Well, remember, we're talking small scale workshop production, and in that sense, if you have certain grits or certain tools that do their thing and you're trying to pump out quantities, that makes sense. So that's my goal. Just kind of keep that in mind. Looking around my workshop, there is one area that I'm going to be doing this kind of new tool setup, and if you follow my channel and saw the video that is right before this one, you'll know where it's going. And that's over here on the wall, right below the brand new set of scavenged plywood wall cabinets that I built. I already have an existing workbench in place. This was the original home of my lathe when I first got it, and it is kind of set here unused ever since. So that being said, let's clean this sucker off and spruce it up a little bit. Lights, camera, action! Oh, wow, it's bright in the face. That looks really good over there. That looks really, really good. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm pretty jazzed about some lights. What else you gonna say?
Get lit, bro!
The cool thing about being able to daisy chain these LED lights together is that new light I just added is on the main light switch for the whole shop. It's lights on, lights off, all the time, whenever you want. No halvesies. Here we have the ready to go, rock and roll, get your tools, new space for my benchtop tools. My drill press, my 2 belt sanders, and my oscillating sander. I might be able to fit more in this space, but for right now, those are the tools I'm aiming for. And those are the tools I'm going to go get off the old tool carousel. Ah, crap! Why you gotta go be so tall, Mr. Drill Press? Nobody got room for you now. If you weren't useful. If you weren't useful. Nah, not gonna work. Not gonna work. Well, that's no good. I should have thought ahead more than just cutting the countertop and thinking, yeah, I'll drop it down below the cabinet. We're all good. That's what happens when you get focused in on what you think is the goal and just get it done and that'll be fine and don't slow down enough to check. I gotta figure out what to do about the drill press, but I don't want to let that hold me up on continuing to take apart and get rid of this rotating tool carousel. There's one more tool left on it, which is the scroll saw, and like I said earlier, I'm probably going to sell it or donate it. I'm not going to keep it, but for now, I'm going to move it into probably storage, which is a little cubby over there. It'll get stuck over there for now. It'll be out of my central workshop and will probably be forgotten for a while. That's the way it goes with that place. I mean, hey, storage is storage. It's what it's for, right? Alright, let me get my drill and stuff and we'll go ahead and finish taking this tool carousel apart and reclaiming a little more space in the shop. As I take the tool carousel apart, I want to give you guys my thoughts after about 2 years of use with it. Things I would do differently and things that I wouldn't. Honestly, as I thought about it, the only thing I would do differently with building this is to use a harder top than the construction grade plywood that I used. My reason for that is as the weight of the tool set on the top and it bared down on the roller bearings, they ended up creating divots and it made it a little bit difficult to rotate and move around. I was able to get around this problem by physically attaching all the tools to the surface and then using them as lever points, but I think having something like a hardy board or maybe even an MDF would make it smoother overall with operation. Really, that's about it with this tool carousel as far as things that I would change if I was rebuilding it or really tweaking it out. Obviously, you can get a lot more complicated, and there are a lot more complicated tool carousels out there, but as far as something that is easy, quick, and simple, I've been very happy with it. I have a full plan set that I sell on my website for this tool carousel. If you find yourself in a position where you're not trying to set up a production shop, Maybe you've got more tools than you can really fit in an area, and you're still looking for a solution to fit tools in a small space while retaining use of them. There's a link down below if you're interested. Well, the rotating tool carousel has been reduced to a pile of usable lumber. Given the prices of construction lumber right now in 2020, this is like gold bars. I have a pretty good stack of well-dry, seasoned, slightly used 2x4s, and they'll be put to use for sure. Probably on something to address Shorty the drill press, or if nothing else, more shop projects. I have a lot of shop projects in mind, so it'll get used. I want to address something you might be thinking. You may be thinking, Sam, you fretted over tool placement. You're freaking out over Shorty the drill press, how to fit it. You cut your countertop, for crying out loud. But then you went and opened up a 3 foot by 3 foot area of your shop just to make it empty? Not exactly. There is something coming down the road for Samcraft that is going to further align in this pathway that I'm personally going as far as small scale production, and it's going to occupy that space. It's probably going to occupy that space plus some more. So I'm kind of doing a clean house, making room for something new in the shop, and at the same time sharing ideas on organization, workflows, and other things that I think might be interesting for you all. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag just yet on what exactly is coming into Samcraft. For that, you're going to have to stick around. You're going to have to come with me on this. You're going to have to drag you through the videos one by one. And the whole time you'll be thinking, is this it? Is this the one where he tells us? And I might. There's no telling. I may say it just like, oh, by the way, I'm getting a blah. There is no telling. The edge of your seats will be thoroughly worn out here on Samcraft. Well guys, that's all for this one. You will have to stick around to see what happens with Shorty the drill press, whether it stays there, it's not, or I build something else for it to sit on and it goes in a different area. Either way, I appreciate you all watching and joining. Leave me a comment down below. Got a question, something I left out, something you're curious about. Just want to say, hey bro, what's up? Like the channel? Beard's looking good? Beard's not looking good? Whatever. Comment space is where you do all that fun stuff. Alright guys. Until the next video, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you then in the workshop.